Fort-de-France is the capital of France's Caribbean Overseas Department of Martinique. It is also one of the major cities in the Caribbean. Exports include sugar, rum, tinned fruit, and cacao. Fort-de-France, also known as the Fort of France, lies on Martinique's west coast at the northern entrance to the large Fort-de-France Bay, at the mouth of the Madame River. The city occupies a narrow plain between the hills and the sea but is accessible by road from all parts of the island. In 1638, Jacques d'Aille de Parquet, 1606–1658, nephew of Pierre Bilain d'Esnambuc and first governor of Martinique, decided to have Fort St. Louis built to protect the city against enemy attacks. The fort was soon destroyed and rebuilt in 1669, when Louis XIV appointed the Marquis of Baz as Governor-General. Under his orders and those of his successors, particularly the Count of Blanac, the fort was built with a vibrant design. Originally named Fort Royal, the administrative capital of Martinique was overshadowed by Saint-Pierre, the oldest city in the island, which was renowned for its commercial and cultural vibrancy as the Paris of the Caribbean. The name of Fort Royal was changed to a short-lived Fort La République during the French Revolution, and finally settled as Fort-de-France sometime in the 19th century. The old name of Fort Royal is still used today familiarly in its Creole language form of Foil, with the inhabitants of the city being Foilier. The city had its share of disasters, being partially destroyed by an earthquake in 1839 and in 1890 by fire. At the turn of the 20th century, however, Fort-de-France became economically important after the volcanic eruption of Mount Pelée destroyed the town of Saint-Pierre in 1902. Until 1918, when its commercial growth began, Fort-de-France had an inadequate water supply, was partly surrounded by swamps, and was notorious for yellow fever. Now the swamps are drained to make room for extensive suburbs.